Welcome back to Xul Podcast, Shooting the Reality, the show that aims to bring you all the latest happenings in tech.
Exactly.
I'm James Caro.
And I'm Emily Laura.
And today we're diving deep into the history of Tesla.
The company.
Yeah, not the man.
Not the man, just the company.
This is going to be a wild ride, folks.
It is.
Buckle up.
You know, what's so interesting about Tesla is that they didn't actually invent anything new.
Right.
Electric motors have been around forever.
Yeah.
What Tesla did was they kind of combined vision, strategy, a healthy dose of risk, and they totally changed the game, like reshaped an entire industry.
It's amazing.
It is.
We've got research papers, articles, firsthand accounts from those early days.
Oh, wow.
And,
That's exciting.
oh yeah, near bankruptcy, clashing personalities, some really big bets that paid off.
I'm intrigued.
So
Get into it.
this all starts,
Right.
not with Elon Musk, as many might assume,
Right.
but with Martin Eberhard and Marc Tarpenning. Back in 2003, they wanted to create high-performance electric cars that people would actually want to drive.
Back then, EVs were seen as kind of, well, it's a bit bland.
Right.
Yeah, not really exciting.
The Prius, but even less exciting.
Exactly.
Not really turning heads.
No.
But Eberhard and Tarpenning wanted to, completely shatter that they thought electric cars could be sustainable and desirable.
That was pretty radical back then.
Super radical for the time.
It was.
And then in 2004,
Okay.
enter Elon Musk. Stage left.
Stage left as an investor.
Yeah, as an investor.
Okay.
He very quickly became a major force in the company,
Quickly.
taking over as CEO in 2008.
2008, big year.
Yeah. And speaking of acceleration, here's a little anecdote that gives you a peek into Musk's mindset.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so before diving headfirst into Tesla,
Yeah.
his friends actually tried to talk him out of starting SpaceX,
SpaceX.
the whole rocket company thing.
They must have thought he was crazy.
Yeah.
So what did they do?
They showed him videos of rockets exploding,
Oh, no.
trying to convince him it was going to be a financial disaster.
Classic Elon, though, right?
Right? So Elon,
Yeah.
unwavering determination,
Mm-hmm.
some might even say bordering on stubbornness.
Yeah, a little bit.
But that unwavering belief in himself was absolutely critical for Tesla's survival.
I bet. Especially in those early years.
Especially in those early years,
Yeah.
because let me tell you, those early years were rough.
Rough.
Constant financial struggles,
Right.
production delays, the whole 9 yards.
The whole 9 yards.
There's a story about Musk sleeping under his desk at the factory some nights
Really?
because he was so focused on keeping the company afloat.
Wow, that's dedication.
There's no doubt that Musk's leadership style was a huge part of pushing Tesla forward.
Yeah, he's known for setting really ambitious goals and timelines.
Right.
Which, I mean, can be really demanding on his workforce.
It can.
It's a high-stakes, high-pressure environment.
Absolutely.
And that's something we'll definitely unpack a little bit later.
We will. But despite all the drama, Tesla started putting out these game-changing cars.
Yay.
First, there was the Roadster, a flashy sports car meant to grab attention and prove that electric could be sexy.
Right. It was like, hey, look, electric cars can be cool.
Exactly.
Okay, I see. So the Roadster definitely turned some heads.
Oh, yeah.
But it was the Model S,
Right.
their luxury sedan, that really shifted the conversation.
It won awards, it got rave reviews, and it showed the world that an electric car could be practical and stylish.
It was a turning point.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Suddenly, Tesla wasn't just this niche player anymore.
Yeah,
They were a real force to be reckoned with.
I can see that.
And then they just kept pushing the boundaries with the Model X, their falcon-winged SUV.
Oh, I love those doors.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And then the real game changer,
Okay.
the Model 3.
The Model 3. So that was their attempt to make an EV for everyone.
For the masses.
A more affordable option that
Yeah.
would bring electric cars into the mainstream. And the demand was insane.
Oh, yeah.
Pre-orders were pouring in.
Pouring in.
But scaling up production to meet that demand,
Right.
that's a whole other challenge.
Whole other ballgame.
A whole other ballgame.
So to do this,
Yeah.
Tesla built these massive production facilities
Okay.
called Gigafactories.
Gigafactories, I've heard of these.
They're so big you can see them from space.
No way.
Their main hub was in Fremont, California. But they've been expanding globally like crazy.
It seems like there's a new one popping up every few months.
It does.
So these gigafactories, they weren't just about churning out cars.
Yeah.
They were about controlling the entire supply chain.
The entire
From raw materials
Yeah.
to the finished product.
That's incredible.
This level of vertical integration was
right.
pretty much unheard of in the auto industry.
It's crazy.
Like they were saying, we don't need anyone, we're going to do it ourselves.
Yeah.
That's bold.
And this brings us to one of the most fascinating parts of Tesla's story.
Okay, what's that?
Their focus on building an entire ecosystem around their cars.
An ecosystem.
Yeah, so they knew that one of the biggest hurdles for people adopting electric cars was range anxiety.
Range anxiety.
That fear of running out of juice in the middle of nowhere.
Right, yeah, you don't want to be stranded.
You don't want to be stranded.
No.
So they tackled this head on by creating their own network of fast charging stations
Okay.
called superchargers.
Superchargers, okay.
And this was genius, pure genius.
This is a smart move.
Imagine being able to road trip across the country in an electric car,
Okay.
knowing you could always find a reliable, high-speed charger.
Yeah.
It totally changed the EV ownership experience.
It made it practical.
It made it practical for long-distance travel.
Yeah.
It gave Tesla this massive competitive advantage.
That traditional automakers are still trying to catch up with.
Totally.
So building out that charging infrastructure must have taken some serious, guts.
Guts and foresight.
Yeah.
Foresight,
That
exactly.
is a bold move.
Yeah.
But it paid off big time.
Clearly.
And speaking of bold moves,
Okay.
let's talk about Tesla's commitment to technology, specifically their Autopilot system.
Autopilot.
This is where things get really interesting.
Technology, specifically Autopilot.
So we talked about Autopilot a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
But this is where things get super interesting.
Oh, okay.
Got a ton of research here
Okay.
that goes deep into how Tesla is basically trying to rewrite the rules of driving
Rewrite the
with
rule.
this advanced driver assistance system.
It's definitely been a journey.
Oh, yeah. It all started with features that at the time seemed pretty futuristic, like adaptive cruise control and lane keeping.
Right.
But then they just kept adding more and more sophisticated capability.
Like automatic lane changes.
Yeah.
Highway navigation.
It's like watching a sci-fi movie come to life.
It really is.
It is.
And then there's the full self-driving package.
All self-driving.
Which, I gotta say, sounds a lot more autonomous than it actually is.
Right. It's really important to understand that despite the name,
Yeah.
full self-driving is still considered level 2 automation.
Level 2.
Which means the driver absolutely has to stay engaged, keep their hands on the wheel, and be ready to take over at any time.
So it's not just sit back and relax while the car drives itself.
No, not yet.
And that disconnect between expectation and reality
Yeah.
has led to some tricky situations.
Tricky how?
We've got reports of accidents,
Accidents.
some even fatal, where Autopilot was engaged,
Oh, wow.
which raises some serious questions about the system's safety.
Right, and how it's marketed.
How's marketed exactly?
National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, or NHTSA.
Yeah, NHTSA.
The government agency responsible for road safety.
Right.
Well, they've launched a bunch of investigations into Tesla's Autopilot system,
Yeah.
looking into crashes involving emergency vehicles,
Yeah.
reports of sudden unintended acceleration,
Unintended
all kinds of things.
That's scary.
And we've got court documents here detailing lawsuits from drivers who claim Autopilot malfunctioned and caused accidents.
So it's a complicated issue.
It is a complicated issue.
With lots of different viewpoints.
On one hand,
Yeah,
there's no denying that Autopilot is an incredible piece of engineering,
it is.
and it has the potential to make driving safer,
Right.
more efficient in the long run.
Yeah.
But on the other hand,
Yeah.
there are real concerns about the technology being rolled out too quickly, maybe without enough safeguards.
It's like giving someone a powerful tool without the instructions. And when you're talking about tech that can affect life or death,
Yeah,
the stakes are really high.
the stakes are high.
Tesla's approach to safety has definitely been criticized.
Critics say they're too quick to push out new features without enough testing.
Right.
But Tesla, on the other hand, says their vehicles are among the safest on the road.
Interesting.
And they point to data that shows lower accident rates when Autopilot's engaged.
Okay, well, it's a debate that's not going away anytime soon,
It's not.
especially as self-driving tech continues to improve.
For sure.
And look, it's not just Autopilot.
Right?
Tesla's been a leader in other areas of automotive tech.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
They were some of the first to really embrace those over-the-air software updates
Over-the-air updates.
so they can constantly improve functionality and performance remotely.
So it's like your car is getting a brain upgrade while it's parked in your garage.
While it's parked in your garage, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
They've also been pushing the boundaries of battery technology, always trying for longer range and faster charging times.
Makes sense.
Those Gigafactories we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
They play a huge role in this.
They do.
Allowing Tesla to produce batteries at a scale and cost that's pretty much unmatched.
Unmatched.
And let's not forget about the Magic Dock.
Magic Dock, what's that?
This is a new thing
Okay.
that's got everyone in the industry talking.
Really?
It's essentially a technology that allows non-Tesla EVs
Non-Tesla EVs.
to charge at Tesla's supercharger stations.
Oh, wow.
It's a brilliant move. Opens up a whole new revenue stream for Tesla.
Okay.
Positions them as a key player in the EV charging infrastructure market.
It's like they're saying, hey, we built this amazing charging network, and now everyone can use it.
Exactly. It's a win-win for Tesla and for EV drivers in general.
I like it.
And on top of all that, let's not forget Tesla's focus on performance. Their cars are known for insane acceleration. Incredible handling.
I've heard they're pretty quick.
They completely shattered that stereotype of electric cars being sluggish and boring.
Yeah, they definitely proved that wrong.
They did.
So they've got models that can go from 0 to 60 in under 2 seconds.
It's nuts.
That mind-blowing?
It feels like you're in a rocket ship.
Not a car.
Not a car.
That focus on performance has really helped them attract a dedicated fan base.
Absolutely.
People excited about the future of transportation and eager to try out cutting-edge tech.
Right. But like any company that's disrupting the status quo, there have been bumps in the road.
Bumps.
We've got reports of production challenges, quality control issues, even some public spats with regulators.
It's a reminder that even the most innovative companies aren't immune to setbacks.
Exactly. And in this final part of our deep dive, we're going to talk about Tesla's impact on the world.
Their impact.
And the challenges they face moving forward.
Because everyone faces challenges.
Because even the most disruptive companies aren't immune to setbacks and controversies.
Right, absolutely. One of the biggest criticisms of Tesla has been their struggles with production.
Like, remember all those ambitious goals and tight deadlines we talked about?
Oh, yeah.
Well, meeting those targets has often been a huge challenge.
I can imagine.
You know, production hell.
Production hell.
It wasn't just a catchy phrase Elon Musk tweeted out.
Right.
It's a real issue for the company.
So ramping up production of new models, that often led to delays,
quality control hiccups.
Quality control.
And a lot of frustrated customers waiting for their cars.
I can see how that would happen.
You know, they've been accused of biting off more than they can chew.
Trying to do too much at once.
Right. Building those gigafactories, launching new models, developing cutting-edge software, expanding globally.
And all at the same time.
All at a crazy pace.
It's a lot.
And that kind of aggressive expansion can lead to some serious problems.
Logistical nightmare.
Yeah, logistical nightmare.
It's like juggling flaming chainsaws while riding a unicycle.
Okay, that's a pretty vivid image.
It is.
So those missteps have sometimes resulted in missed deadlines and vehicles with inconsistent build quality.
I've heard about those issues.
And then there's the question of profitability.
Profitability, right?
Tesla has gone through periods of significant financial losses.
Really?
Burning through cash. Their stock price has been on a roller coaster.
Ups and downs.
Soaring to incredible heights one minute and plummeting the next.
That's got to be stressful for investors.
It is. It's enough to make anyone nervous.
So even though Tesla's revenue has grown like crazy, there are still questions about whether they can achieve long-term sustainable profitability.
Especially now that the competition is heating up.
Competition.
Traditional automakers are finally taking EVs seriously.
They're finally waking up.
They're pouring billions of dollars into developing their own electric vehicles.
And some of these companies have decades of experience. In manufacturing and distribution.
Yeah, Tesla can't match that.
So it's a whole new game now.
A whole new ball game.
Tesla's not the only player in town anymore.
They're going to have to fight to stay on top.
It's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out.
And it's not just about cars anymore.
Right.
Tesla's making some big moves in sustainable energy, too.
Tesla Energy.
Remember earlier when we talked about their vision of accelerating the world's transition to sustainable energy?
Yeah.
Well, Tesla Energy is a big part of that.
So what are they doing?
They're developing and deploying solutions like Powerwall, a home battery system that can store energy from solar panels.
Powerwall.
And Megapack, a utility-scale energy storage system that can help stabilize the electric grid.
So they're basically building a giant battery for the planet.
That's a good way to put it.
That's pretty amazing.
And then there's the solar roof. integrating solar panels directly into roof tiles, making them practically invisible.
I've seen pictures. It looks really cool.
It does. So Tesla's aiming to be more than just an automaker. They want to be a major force in the clean energy revolution.
Ambitious.
It's a bold vision, but it comes with risks.
Risks? Like what?
Remember the Solar City acquisition we talked about?
Yeah, yeah.
That was met with a lot of skepticism and even legal challenges.
People thought it was more about rescuing Solar City than anything else.
Right, but eventually a court ruled in Musk's favor, finding that Tesla paid a fair price.
So it wasn't a bailout.
It's a good reminder that Tesla's growth strategy hasn't always been smooth.
There have been bumps along the way.
But it also highlights their willingness to take risks and push the boundaries.
That's part of what makes them so interesting.
And that, I think, is what makes Tesla's story so fascinating. It's a story of innovation, bold bets, and an unwavering belief in a sustainable future.
It's a story that's still being written, too.
And we can't wait to see what happens next.
So there you have it, folks. A deep dive into the history of Tesla, a company that's shaken things up in the automotive world and beyond.
We've covered a lot of ground.
We've talked about their humble beginnings, their meteoric rise, their game-changing technology, their challenges, and their vision for the future.
It's been a wild ride.
What stands out to you most about Tesla's journey? What are your thoughts on their future? We'd love to hear from you.
Leave a comment below. Let us know what you think. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, be sure to subscribe to Xul's podcast, Shooting the Reality, for more insightful explorations of fascinating topics.
Thanks for listening.